Let's get it.
Hey, it's Bryan with DD214 Transport. I forgot my damn name. That's sad. It's been a week, man. But look, guys, I'm glad you're here. It's Wednesday at 7 o'clock, and we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about leasing on or running under your own authority. Now, tonight, I have two wonderful guests, too. I've got Robert. He's back. He's leased on to us. He's a company owner. And I've got Amon. He's here. He is in the throes of a new MC. So we're going to be able to talk. We're going to be able to go through it. We're going to see what the pros and the cons are. Before we go down the rabbit hole too far, I want to ask you to like and subscribe, hit the little bell for notifications. And I want to, there we are, let you know the title, Own Authority or Lease on Carrier. Let's be clear. Now, guys, I did this show just about a year ago, the same show. And I am getting so many questions right now about this and why I recommend what I recommend that I thought we might want to do a refresher course. All right, before we get going too far, I want to thank our veterans and first responders for all they do and all they continue to do for this country. We would not be the country we are without them. Thank you. Fuel prices. Fuel prices are down to $3.72.7, which is not that far, but it's almost 5 cents a gallon for a week ago. And, I want to talk to you guys just a minute about this fuel price situation. And, probably fuel being your number one expense in this business, if you're not taking care and paying attention to what you are doing and staying out of these truck stops, you will go broke. Okay. You're making other people rich with this truck stop stuff when we don't need it. We don't need it. Okay. Let me just show you something real quick. Last time I told people about truck stop and QT that was a mile away. Guys, this is across the street. Okay? And that Circle K has come. Diesel price, Biggins, fuel line. Look at the difference. Okay, so think about that. Be on top of your fuel every day. All right. So in the news this week, Trump administration is launching a nationwide audit of non-domicile CDL holders in an effort to crack down on unqualified drivers who pose a potential safety hazard to the nation's roads. DOT audits will be conducted through the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Okay. Millions for truck parking. DOT is granted or aimed at alleviating longstanding shortages of truck parking, including $180 million to add 917 new spots in Florida along the I-4 corridor. So, you know, that's like throwing it sounds good, but it's really like just throwing a marble into the Grand Canyon. $180 million is not going to do anything to alleviate truck parking. All right. Speed limiter rule has been withdrawn. Okay. The FMCSA is withdrawing a joint rulemaking that proposed required speed limiter devices on heavy vehicles. The decision respects the professionalism of the drivers that are going to lay it back in your lap to say, hey, just because you can speed doesn't mean you should speed. And if you get slammed speeding, they're just gonna, they're gonna put it to you. Okay. Not only that, but your insurance is going to put it to you. They're going to do some regulatory relief and flexibility. The electronic log devices for that pre-2000 model. Sorry, guys, I lost everything there for me. My bad. So, sorry, it just went away. Technology is a wonderful thing until it doesn't work. And if you don't know that, I don't know what's happening, but we're having an issue with everything. Not exactly sure. I apologize. We're having technical difficulties around here, but we will get it figured out in a second. Let's see if we can get this thing figured out. Okay. The Brake Safety Week will take place again, August 24th through the 30th. You will keep hearing about it. Put it in your calendars, mark it down, get in the shop, get under that trailer and make sure you're squared away. All right, this is a sad story right here. In Texas, truck driver and an 18-wheeler crashes on I-20, faces 6 manslaughter charges. Texas DPS says the driver of one of the 18-wheelers fell asleep behind the wheel and slammed into multiple vehicles. This guy's going to do 10 to 20 years, guys. That's just all there is to it. He is in he's in jail, man. It's a sad thing. One thing I did send out after it would win again, but I sent out a reminder to everybody that said to please, with this heat, to please stay hydrated, and if you feel tired, to get off the road and stop. So I'm just playing with this computer, trying to stay connected. I don't know if we have storms in the area right now or what, but we are having terrible time. Okay, so yeah, I sent out the information to all the drivers that, as soon as you think you feel tired, to pull over and rest, get out, walk around, figure out what's going on, take a nap. It's freight, guys. We got to take a nap. We got to be solid in what we do. Pictures of the week. That's me. I ran Monday. First time I put 13 hours in a long time. And yeah, there's Steve. He's running a reel. That's Robert running me some tractors to my house, I hope. That's Noel pulling a forklift. And there's Robert again. He's pulling a big boy truck. He's got a Kenworth on the back of that big daddy. Under the hood, running loads. Like I said, that's what I'm doing. I've been running loads. This week, I've got to be up at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning to run loads tomorrow. It'll be another 13, 14-hour day. I'll have all I can eat tomorrow. Doing IFTA. Guys, if you don't know, you ought to know. Second quarter IFTA is due. So I'm running reports now to get all this stuff taken care of. Insurance. We're shopping for insurance. Always shopping for insurance. Okay. So insurance is going to be a pretty big hit on you. So just always don't ever be afraid to go out and look for a better deal. All right. Tonight, own your own authority, lease on to a carrier. We are here. Let's be clear about what we are talking about. Things in this world have changed. And the way it used to be to run out and grab your own authority and go really doesn't work well now. So again, we've got Robert on hold. We've got Amon on hold. And we're going to be talking about this in depth. So, you're out there running hard, you're putting in the miles, but now calls are starting. Why don't you just get your own authority and run? Others say, man, it's better to lease on, no headaches. Well, tonight we're diving into the decision that defines your future in trucking. We're going to talk about it. It's not a theory. It's facts, it's pressure, it's real, and these guys are going to talk about it for you here. So, understanding that just about 1 year ago today, I did this same thing. And the reason I started to do this again today was because last week I had a gentleman say, well, I thought you told me to get an MC. I'm like, hell no, man. I would never tell you to get an MC. Not right now. But anyway, I had to end up sending him that saying, look, I've been saying this for a long time, not just 5 minutes. All right. So what do we mean by lease on versus your own authority? Lease on, you're an owner operator. Okay. You're an owner operator, but you're running under someone else's DOT and MC number. They handle the compliance, the dispatch, the billing, sometimes fuel cards and the insurance. But you are an owner operator and you are a business owner. Okay. What's it mean to own your MC? You're a business owner. And you operate under your own DOT and MC. You are the company. You handle all aspects of the business. You have full freedom to take a nap at noon and do no work, but then you have full responsibility and risk should you not. So, yeah. All right. I want to stop this right now with the lease on. Oh, sorry about that. Pushed the wrong button. All right. So listen, I'm going to give you the story about why things in this market are the way they are now. Back pre-COVID and COVID, you could go get your MC and go, and it was that simple. Again, you're responsible for everything, but you could do it, and you could make it work. Now, things have done a 180. And I'm going to give you the story behind why things changed right now. C.H. Robinson, a trucking company. I'm going to try it again, guys. I apologize. But C.H. Robinson, a trucking company / broker, had a contract with Costco to move a bunch of freight. And as brokers do, most of them, they're going to hire out to the lowest bid, basically. They're going to try to get it for as cheap as they could get it. Well, in this case, they hired a driver or a company with a CSA score that was 3 times the national average. It's terrible, terrible. And this particular driver under that particular load caused a wreck, made a guy paraplegic. And this guy sued everybody. Sued Costco, sued C.H. Robinson, sued the company the guy was driving for, the whole 9 yards. Well, C.H. Robinson went like this. Look, we're just the broker. The guy had insurance, or the I'm just going to leave it back like this for now. So C.H. Robinson just threw their hands up and said, look, we're just a broker. The guy's insurance was good. We let him have the load. We're out. Well, this was in a federal court, and the judge said, no, you have a responsibility to vet these companies that you're hiring. You knew, or you should have known, that the CSA score, the safety score of this company, was 3 times the national average. Okay. Well, C.H. Robinson and Costco appealed that, and it went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court refused to hear it, got mandated back to the lower court. Lower court's ruling stood. Okay. Now, when all this went down, now the brokers are scared to death, and they're not just willy-nilly, and they put things in place that if you're a new MC, you better have, 90 days under your belt or 6 months. Some of them are a year. Some of them require a year and 2 roadside inspections before they'll even talk to you. Okay. So this is what happened. Now, as we go on through this, that gives you the story behind what's happening out there. Okay. We're just dropping signal all over the place, guys. There's nothing I can do about it other than just keep moving forward. Okay. So unfortunately, that's just the luck of the draw some weeks. All right. So here you go. Leasing onto a carrier. Here are your pros. You got a lower startup cost. There's no need to get your authority, shop insurance, IFTA, UCR, ELD set up, etc. Most carriers will even front you the overhead, fuel cards, permits, and even dispatching. Number 2, you have fewer compliance headaches. You're not the one dealing with DOT audits, record keeping, or drug consortium setup and maintenance. They handle the IFTA, the driver files, and the hours of service tracking. Consistent work. When you lease onto a company, you have instant access to loads with no waiting 3, 6, 9, or 12 months. You get better loads while you're still learning, okay, when you're still learning. Group benefits is some carriers offer discounts on fuel, tires, maintenance, and insurance. Dispatching and billing. Less time chasing brokers or tracking down unpaid invoices. You're mostly just focused on driving and delivery. Okay. Cons, lower pay. You're only getting a percentage, commonly 70 to 80%. Okay. Carrier rules, appearance requirements, equipment age, maintenance standards. Your truck, their rules. Lack of branding and independence. And I don't know that if you're leasing on, do you really, that sort of kind of cuts both ways. If you're not looking to build a trucking company, you know, that's just not right. You're under their DOT number. You're not building your own MC or brand or authority. Well, I've got many drivers that just want to drive and go do it and don't want to have to deal with all the BS that happens out back. You're not growing equity in your company. You still cover the truck expenses. Of course you do. It's your business. Fuel, maintenance, insurance, physical damage, NTL, still on you. Either way, it's still on you. Running under your own MC authority. All right. You have total control, or you think you do. It's more of a thought process because you really don't. I mean, you're there working. You really don't have total control of anything. Control is a fallacy in your mind. But you do have total responsibility. And that's a fact. That is absolutely a fact. All right. The pros are you get 100% of your revenues minus your factoring and expenses. You can negotiate runs or rates, run your own game, do what you want. You get total control. Choose where, when, and how you want to run. But you better believe if you ain't out there running, you're broke. You can build your own customer base or use any broker you want. You build business equity. Create a real brand if you want to, and a book of business. Potential to grow into a fleet or sell the company. You know, you have those options. Direct access to load boards and customers. DAT, Truck Stop, CH Robinson, TQL are all open to you. You can also go after local shippers and establish direct contacts. You're the boss. Set your own policies, take time off, decide how aggressive or passive you want to be. That's a fact. The things that's not here, even though, you know, the thing that is not in this, and it may have the cons. It may be. Look here, the cons. High startup and operating cost. Okay. So all the money you think you're going to make is going to leave you here. Authority filing, insurance down payments could be $10,000 or $15,000. You got permits, ELD, compliance tools. You'll spend thousands just to get rolling. You have the full compliance burden. Guys, this isn't no joke here. So, like I said, this is just very We might get through with this show tonight at some point. So when I'm almost there. Sorry, guys. One more. All right. So yeah, you have the full compliance burden. And like I said, that's no joke. Everything's on you. You miss something, the fines stack up. You don't do it, the fines stack up. You do it incorrectly, the fines stack up. Yeah, you go too much and they'll shut you down. No built-in freight when you first start. You got, you got 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. You're going to struggle to get loads. Okay, it's just a fact. You must chase the loads or build relationships from scratch. The market can be brutal if you're not ready for it. And you so sorry about that again. I'm going to keep apologizing because there's nothing I can do but just try to keep moving forward. Like I said, I've got the guys here. I'm going to try to get through this. So there we go. Cash flow issues. Brokers can take 30 to 45 days to pay unless you're factoring. Okay. You cover fuel repairs and breakdowns while waiting on your pay. So not only do you have to wait on your pay, but you got to cover everything while you're waiting. All right. Final verdict. Which one is for you? If you are not, I'm going to say this again as loud as I can. So everybody understands where I'm coming from, and it's fairly simple. If you are not looking to build a trucking company, and I mean, if you're not going out there and you're not saying, hey, I want to build this up to be something, then lease on. If you're just starting out, lease on is usually the smarter move. It lets you learn the ropes while you build your cash reserves. Now, if you are looking to build a trucking company and you've got experience and a shit ton of capital and a hustle mindset, owning your own sea gives you the opportunity for unlimited growth. But it is a high risk, high reward game, guys. And there's no easy way to get around it. You either win at it or you lose at it. All right. So now I'm going to bring on Robert first. And then, hey, Robert, I'm going to bring on Amon. Amon, I can't see you.
How you doing, Bryan?
I lost your face. Let me see if I can remove Robert and bring you up. Yeah, I have no camera on you, brother. I can see you in the lower part, but I can't see you in the upper part. So I've only got your voice, Amon. Can you hear me? Now he froze. Everybody's freezing. This may be an internet thing. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. If Amon can hear me, refresh your deal. You're froze up. Here you go. I've got him on here. Would you reach out? Just there. He's trying to do something. But what do you think, Robert? Is that pretty much a spot on situation with what we just
Yeah,
talked about?
yes, your slides there describe it very accurately. I think that there can be a mindset that, if you're getting into business for yourself, that some of those points that you make about having your own MC number are kind of a mindset of, oh, I can do this. I'm going to be in business for myself. I'm a hustler. I'm going to make things happen, and I'm going to set the world on fire and all that. And that's great. But if you don't control that mindset, and if you're not ready for your own MC and you do not lease on, I think it can be very, very painful lessons, because to me, it's all about the value add of paying the fees to be leased on and dispatched and so forth and so on that you talked about. And the
Hey,
fees.
Amon, can you hear me? I don't know if he can hear me.
I don't know.
Amon, can you hear me? I think he's froze up again.
I can't hear him.
All right, so hopefully
In any
he'll.
case, what I was saying is that the value add for the lease on fees, to me, the fees that I pay for that outweigh the potential loss in revenue and overwhelming expenses that can occur when you make mistakes trying to do your own MC number. Is it possible? Of course, it's possible. But all the things that you said, you better have the capital in place, and you better be prepared to really not take time off, because even when you're off, you're going to end up being the only person, the only entity that can make anything work in your company. Whereas when I lease on, there's a few things that you said about having your own MC, where if you feel like taking a nap, you can take a nap. Well, I'm leased on. I can do that. I still feel like if I'm tired, if I want to take a nap, I can take a nap. If I can afford to take a couple weeks off, I can take a couple weeks off. And
Okay.
that those points should not motivate somebody to try to get their own MC number. If you think that there's going to be more freedom, you're going to have more power, I think that's a misnomer. I think that you should definitely focus on getting, if you're a pilot, I've been in a year, I feel like I'm just getting to cruising altitude. And then now I'm ready to start thinking about how to strategize about maybe doing some of those things that I would do if I had my own MC. But I think that if you're just getting into the business, you need to heed the advice of what Bryan's saying. Do not get your own MC, because
Hey,
those
Amon.
freedoms will still exist.
Yeah, Amon, can you hear?
Yeah. Are you guys able to
Hey,
hear me?
Amon.
There he is.
So glad you could get here, man. Hey, listen,
I know.
real quick, we're having internet problems, and Anthony and him selling.
Oh, I think we lost Bryan now.
Yeah, he's been having internet problems on and off. There, he's probably
Yeah,
back
I'm
now.
back. But the problem is nationwide. It looks like it's Anthony just hit me and said they were having outages out there as well. So there's some kind of issue going on. We'll just have to deal with it for a few minutes. But tell us what's going on with you, Amon.
Okay.
Go ahead. Tell your story.
All right. So let me start from the beginning. Okay. I got into Hotshot at the very peak, when everyone was, when the market was great. All
I think he's out. What do you think, Robert? Can you
I
hear
guess
me?
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just have to. Yeah, we'll just have to wait till he resets. There's nothing else we can do. But
it sounded
yeah,
like he was going to say that maybe when shipping rates were higher.
Well,
but
it was also prior to.
Now Bryan's out.
That's too bad. That sucks.
Can you hear me now, Amon?
Oh yeah, I can hear you guys very well.
Oh, okay.
Tell your
We lost
story.
you. Go ahead, Amon.
Go ahead. You guys keep talking. If I drop out, you guys keep the show running. We're just sitting here. We're slave to the stupid internet at the moment. Go ahead, Amon. The floor is yours, sir. Look, he's froze. Robert, it's all you, man.
Okay. Well, all I know is that when when COVID was going on, the rates, what I understand from that time in the market, the rates were extremely high. Business models were built on revenue based on those shipping rates, and I think that's what caused, as I've heard you talk about in the past, Bryan, a big influx of used trucks on the market. Sure. Because a lot of people built their models based on that revenue stream, and it wasn't sustainable. As soon as COVID was over, then people started moving around again, and rates ended up tapering off. But in this climate now, these things that we're seeing come in, like the English speaking and the things that you mentioned earlier tonight, and you also talked about, I think it was last week, you talked about the medical card compliance. In my mind, those types of things are going to take more drivers off the road because they're not going to be compliant, and that will increase shipping rates without as many trucks being on the road. Now, most of that information might be for semi-tractor trailers and not necessarily in the hotshot business, although you did give me that.
Hang on, Amon's back, I think.
Okay.
Nope, he's froze again. I think he's froze. You not froze? Tell your story quick while we got internet.
Okay. I started Hotshot in 2021. I got my MC. I did Hotshotting till 2022. Now, when I first started, companies, they really didn't care too much. Hey, if you've been there 3 months or 6 months, they just, there was a lot of loads. It was easy to get onboarded within a few minutes, and boom, you're on the road, heading out to.
Well, he froze up again.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
All right.
But to his point right there, the barriers to entry were minimal, and now you're talking.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. It was just once you got your MC, you were just running. I know in my first, Yeah, I mean, we took off immediately, and there was no issues other than the time it took to get on boarded with the carrier. I totally get it, but once that C.H. Robinson lawsuit changed and everybody tightened up, that changed the whole game. Now the rates, of course, that didn't have anything to do with the rates. We went through, the COVID glut. Then you had a freight recession, and now we're coming out of that. And if I can't see him, but yeah, I mean, guys who are thinking about running out there and just doing this had better have a stockpile of cash. I'd love for him to come on and tell this story, and we may have to wait until another time to do it because
reconvene whenever connection's reestablished. Yeah.
So, well, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I know this is way shorter than I thought it would be.
Well, it looks like now we've lost Bryan again. So if he wants to call it, I guess we'll call it.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a mod.
Maybe we should do it again. Yeah, maybe we should do it again at a later date.
Well, you're on now, Amon. So just continue with your story while you're here.
Okay, so I came back now. I just started my own MC 3 months ago, and let me tell you, everything has changed. My struggle.
Okay.
For exactly a week ago, after broker, and getting the denial was just it was to the point where the frustration was so high that I kept a tally. In a day, I got denied by 18 brokers, with the exception of a few. TQL was able to offer me a few loads, but
What was their reasoning for the denials?
so in my case, because I had reinstated my MC, it's almost like they saw that um, as a negative thing. But at the end of the day, what almost all 90% of the brokers that were telling me, hey, you need to wait 90 days, you need to wait 180 days, and these are the same brokers that I worked with back in 2021, 2022, same brokers, nothing too different, and even King of Freight, I'll use that as an example. They're 1 year now. If you're a new MC, uh, for them, they saw my MC as a new MC. They said, "Hey, you have to wait a year now," and the bills are not going to stop for a year. They're going to continue to come. The truck payment doesn't stop for a year. I truthfully, I was in a panic. I sat with my wife. I was like, you know what? I need to do something immediately. Otherwise, I need to shut it down. So what I wanted to do immediately was I actually called Bryan. I said, hey, you know what? Let me get started with your dispatching company. Okay, let's get that going. Because another issue I had was, which I strongly would like to advise those that are trying to get their new MC, trying to do self-dispatching, don't. Your first, just take it from me, once you're on the road, you want to watch how you're driving. You want to watch what's out there and not look at the tablet, not look at your phone, try to book a load. And you know what? I'm honest. I'm guilty of that. And I realized that one, it was a huge safety concern for myself, for the public. And at the same time, another issue was, let's say if I'm unloading or loading, whatever the reason could be, I was missing out on loads. I decided to make that call, like, you know what? One of the reasons, just to go back, one of the reasons why my Hotshot company failed was because of self-dispatching. This was the exact reason why I ended up shutting down back in 2022, was because of self-dispatching. I immediately saw that. I told my wife, I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to make the same mistakes again. That's when, Bryan, I called you. I said, hey, with Bryan's dispatch.
Billy's cutting in and out again, Bryan.
Yeah.
Bryan, what was the date on the C.H. Robertson case? Do you recall what year
It
that
was
happened?
back in 2021, 2022, 2022, I believe.
So that
You can
happened
look it
right
up.
around. Yeah, I'll look it up. But that happened, according to what Amon's saying, that happened after he had been in the hotshot business for a while. So
Exactly.
clearly that case had a lot to do with the constraints that the brokers decided to implement. And that's what you're feeling now, right, Amon?
Oh, yeah. And there's several issues. One, as soon as they know you're a new MC, well, guess what? They're not going to negotiate the rate with you.
Right.
I caught on to that immediately, and
Right.
that's something my dispatcher also caught on. Hey, we don't have the negotiating power.
And why is that, Bryan? What's he alluding to there?
Okay, so what he's saying is that when when you're a new MC, you have no negotiating skills because they know you need to move. You've got to move. So they're going to grind you into the ground with dog-minted rates. That's exactly what he's talking about.
So they look at the
And-
age of your MC, and then they use that as leverage against you to
Absolutely.
you
They
know,
know.
and they
if
know you're
6
in a
months
bind and you
old,
have to run.
You just
Yeah.
need to move, man. You just need to
Right.
move. There's no room to negotiate. So that's exactly right. And I want to continue this at another time.
Sure.
We may even go back and do it again, but we're going to continue this part 2. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah,
he's
sure.
the
Just
main
let me
part
know.
of the story here, and
Yeah.
I want to. June 2022, Robert C.H. Robinson. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's when everything clamped down. I mean, just boom, right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, and that gives some insight as to why some brokers are the way they are.
yeah,
You know.
Yep.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
So yeah. Well, what I'm going to do, let's get him on one more shot here. Let's get him up on the screen. Hey, Amon, listen, we want to hear this story, and we're going to give this one more try, and then we're going to close out for the day, and we will reconvene when the internet is acting right. But
Yeah.
we have multiple issues with internet. Yeah, he's frozen
again. Yeah.
All right, we're done.
Okay.
Guys, listen, Robert, so much thanks. I appreciate
You're
you
welcome.
coming on. I really want you to come back so we can compare the apples to apples, listen to his story, and hopefully somebody will gain some insight out of these situations, how the market has changed in these past couple years. And it's not just go out and do your own thing. I had a guy, actually, even in the factoring end of it, he went out, he asked me who I did for factoring, and I sent him over there, and he come back and he said, they wouldn't take me. His credit.
Well, now Brian's gone. It's just me. There, Amon.
There you go.
Amon's back.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're gonna stop this right now. Okay. We love you. We think you're here. We're gonna bring you back. Hopefully the internet gets straightened out. But for now, it's too much. We've cut out of here about 10 times. So yeah, guys, love your family. Okay, it's all you got. So everybody have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful 4th of July, and be safe out there. You know, remember, it's just freight. It's all good. If you get tired, stop. And we'll talk to you next Wednesday. No, we'll probably talk to you before next Wednesday. Okay, we're going to try to do this one more time on part 2. It'll come up as part 2. It's not going to be a Wednesday thing. We'll just get it done. All right, we'll get out of here.
Okay. All right. Take care.
Have a great rest of your week, guys. Bye.
I'm dirty jeans and a 4x4, cruising down your front door. I'm a full 6-pack and a whiskey neat, some dive bar right up the street. I'm a good old boy in a country a swing on an old jukebox, a tailgate party in a parking lot. I'm rowdy, rough, big and grown. I get it done all on my own. I'm a good old boy and a country star. No one else can go this far. Come on, babe, and go with me. Riding high, living free. Don't ask once and don't think twice, 'cause baby, I'm living the life. I'm a cowboy hat, a ripped up shirt, tractor pulling out in the dirt. Hot cup of coffee with a cigarette, pretty little thing sitting on my hip. I'm a good old